Right, let's get into this. Let's talk Don Carlo at Real Madrid. I'm joined by the Athletics Real Madrid correspondent Mario Cortegana and also La Liga writer Dermot Corrigan as well. Mario, let's start with you on this one. Carlo Ancelotti's future has been shrouded in mystery, I guess, for the last year or so. Do we finally know where he's headed next? Is he staying at Real Madrid? Is he moving on?
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to join you. This is a soap opera which started almost a year ago. It was back in December after Brazil were eliminated in the World Cup by Croatia national team. Then World Sport in Brazil reported that Ancelotti was an important name for Brazil from the CBF to succeed Tite. And since then until the day, there have been a lot of rumors, a lot of news, a lot of words by CBF, by Ancelotti. And the main point now is that it is still unclear what will happen with Ancelotti, which is crazy because we are speaking about Brazil and Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti. I mean, it's the top of the top in the world.
Yeah, and I guess this speculation it won't stop really, but I mean, why would you leave Real Madrid, though, man? I mean, it's such you've got this wonderful young crop of players coming in, and they're playing great football. Let's not forget, there's a certain Jude Bellingham that's making Real Madrid look really good at this moment in time. It all feels really nice and cozy for Don. I keep calling him Don Carlo just because what he's achieved. It just feels so cozy for Carlo Ancelotti right now.
For sure, Ancelotti has always been quite clear that he loves Real Madrid. He really enjoys the club, the city, the lifestyle that he has here. His family are happy here. He likes it here. It is true that, as Mary said, this all kind of kicked off after the World Cup when Brazil were looking for a coach, and Ancelotti has done such great work with the Brazilians in the Madrid team that it was obvious that they would consider him as as a potential next coach. Just at that moment after the World Cup, Madrid weren't in. There was a little bit of uncertainty about his future because it is Real Madrid. So if you lose a game, suddenly your job is on the line. But I've always been quite convinced that if the possibility to stay at Madrid was there for Ancelotti, with his son there as well as assistant coach, that he would stay. Also been quite convinced that Brazil would love to get him, and Brazil have put themselves out of the line by hanging on so long, by going through an interim coach. Now the team aren't doing well in the qualifiers. It's all quite a mess from their end. So they need to get him and to sign him up. But Ancelotti's in control of the situation, and if things go well at Madrid this season, he could well stay there longer.
Mm. Carlo, do we have a sense of the relationship between Ancelotti
Just
and
rephrase that. You just called him Carlo.
yeah, exactly.
It's Don Mario.
Yeah, it's Don Mario. Mario, do you have a sense of what the relationship is like with Carlo Ancelotti and the powers that be at Real Madrid at this moment in time? What's that conversation like? Are they having conversations?
Yeah, it's kind of a roller coaster between Florentino Perez and Carlo Ancelotti. But I'm feeling and I'm hearing that Carlo is now living a strong position, stronger position that some months ago, compared with the end of the past season. Real Madrid actually are inclined to offer an extension for the Italian. They are studying the formula and they are studying the situation. There is no formal offer, but Ancelotti has been informally kind of informed that they are inclined to offer him an extension. So I think yes, they are now in a good mood. They are now in a good moment.
Yeah, I mean, let's. I like to call him Don Carlo simply because he's in a really interesting position, Dermot.
Yeah.
Right? Like you've got a potential of a national team job if that is true, with a great bunch of stars. You've also got the potential to stay on in one of the most commercially viable clubs in the world. I mean, Perez isn't stupid. He knows, Jose Mourinho said it recently. This is a very astute guy who could take Carlo Ancelotti's place, who is of that caliber at this moment that isn't too much wayward, that could keep this Madrid side ticking on.
Yeah, it's difficult that names come out like Xabi Alonso is kind of the newest kind of hot coaching Spanish sensation. He's doing so well in Germany, and people think that, you know, someday he probably will be Real Madrid coach if he continues on like this. But again, Ancelotti is he's in a very strong position, and he knows he's just got so much experience, Ancelotti, of this. He's worked, you know, with difficult owners for so long. He's been Berlusconi at Milan. He was Roman Abramovich at Chelsea. He was at PSG with their owners as well. And he's a relaxed guy. You know, he's able to handle the pressure. He doesn't let it get to him. He can get on with coaching the team and kind of work on a couple of different levels. Because at Madrid, you need to win the next game. That's always the most important thing. But he can also kind of think what might happen, you know, 6-12 months into the future. And it is ideal. You know, coach Brazil in a huge World Cup in the America as well, where he has links to America. He likes to go there and to visit, is kind of a dream for a coach. So he's been able to play the two sides off against each other. One thing that Florentino Perez doesn't like is to be played off by somebody else. Like there's a risk involved in it that if Florentino Perez has to be the biggest person at Real Madrid, the most important person, and is the most important person at Real Madrid. So it's delicate situation, but Ancelotti so far has played it very well.
Yeah, Mario, you were nodding there.
Let me add, Dermot, I agree with you 100%, and let me add that is an agreement for an extension is reached between Carlo Ancelotti and Real Madrid. All the parties know pretty well that this could mean nothing if the results are bad in 1, 2, 3, or 4 months. I mean, we can imagine Carlo extending in January, for example, for 2 years, and then in April or May, if the team is not winning any major trophies, being fired.
For sure.
But then I'm looking at this. We're talking about go back to that question. We could talk about the possibility of maybe Xabi Alonso. I mean, he's only really early on in his Leverkusen career. I mean, obviously Xavi has gone to Barcelona, but the Real Madrid brand is really interesting right now, and it is. The Barcelona brand is fragile. I'm not going to say it isn't, but the Real Madrid brand, it's emerging from success with former Champions League champions. I mean, come on, that's what Real Madrid love. And who best to get them another Champions League than someone as experienced, Mario, as Ancelotti?
Yeah, they tell me at Real Madrid that Ancelotti is the ideal coach for Real Madrid, but of course Real Madrid are considering some names to replace him if something happened with the results or with the failing in they try to extend Ancelotti. One of the top names, maybe the top in the list, is Xabi Alonso. I've been told that there are high executive at Real Madrid who are big fans of Xabi Alonso, even more than Florentino Perez. I've been told also when Zidane is in the market, you can't discard.
They can't bring him back again. They can't bring him back again.
A third chapter at Real Madrid bench. I've been reading some rumors about the Cherry. I've been told that it's a profile a lot with a lot of value at Real Madrid, but nothing more. There have not been movements about him. Let's see. There is also Raúl at home, but yes, I would say that despite Real Madrid are saying that the ideal coach for this Real Madrid is Carlo Ancelotti. If something happened with the Italian, Xabi Alonso is the top name in the list.
Yeah, we shouldn't forget kind of what's happened for Real Madrid managers going back over the last decade. Like, it has been difficult enough for Madrid to put somebody in charge. Like when Ancelotti came back, you know, Ancelotti was at Everton like a couple of years ago. Madrid, Zidane left after winning the Champions League. Suddenly Madrid had no plan B. They were looking around at different options. And Ancelotti kind of saved them by coming back, go a bit further back. People like Lopetegui, Benitez have been appointed, not gone well. The coaches who have actually triumphed have been almost surprises, like Zidane, you know, promoted from the U team kind of in an emergency and went on and did it. And then Ancelotti coming back when, you know, there was 3-4 weeks when Madrid were looking around for a coach at that moment. Ancelotti got the call, came back, won the Champions League. So there's never really at Madrid, because of the way the club is run with Florentino at the top, so much comes down to his personal decisions in the moment when somebody has to be appointed. It's not that they have a long a succession plan in place. Maybe at some club, maybe Man City are already thinking about who's going to replace Pep Guardiola, for instance, and they bring him in as the assistant, all that. Madrid doesn't work that way. It's more impulsive. It's more the spur of the moment. And again, Ancelotti knows that. Like, as Mario says, he signs a new contract. Suddenly they get knocked out of the Champions League. They get embarrassed by Barcelona or Atletico in the Copa del Rey final, and Alonso wins the champion, or wins the Bundesliga, and he comes in. So it's super interesting to watch it. But again, Ancelotti's he's in such a good position. He could be the Madrid coach. He could, win more trophies with them. If that doesn't work out, sure, I'll go and manage Brazil in the World Cup. So it's as long as he doesn't overplay his hand, it's going pretty well for him.
I'm smiling a lot. Sorry, because this is the ending line of a piece we are preparing for publishing. Like, if you check, be careful, be ready, stay on, because if you check the last Real Madrid appointment for the bench, no one, and when I say no one, it's no one, not even people with more or less power at the club. Of course, the media and even the supporters didn't suspect that Ancelotti was returning in 2021. Sisu was returning in 2019. So also with Lopetegui just before the World Cup in Russia. So it's crazy, but this is the truth.
It's a fun club to cover.
Yeah.
This is what I find so interesting about Real Madrid, is that you've got a coach there who, since returning in the summer of 2021, has lifted 6 trophies, and we're saying, oh, if he gets a few string of bad results, he might be at the door. I mean, I just find it hard to compute
this is Real Madrid.
That kind of logic.
Yeah, but this is Real Madrid. This is crazy, but this is, as we call here, this is grandeza. This is the point which maybe helps Real Madrid to be that much big.
Yeah, that's what they argue, that kind of demands on the coach and on everybody. The club is what has pushed them on to win so many Champions Leagues over their history. And if you're not able to deal with that pressure, as some coaches have not been able to deal with it, then you don't last very long in the job. Ancelotti clearly is able to handle that pressure, which is why he's in the position still at the moment.
Okay, right. I tell you what, if it is to be the Brazilian national team, can you just take us back to where this all stemmed from then? Where did the speculation stem from? I know we covered it at the top, but I just want some legitimacy to this conversation, Mario.
Well, it all started last year, almost a year ago, in Brazil, with Brazil media. And the truth is that Ednaldo Rodriguez, the president of CBF, has been acknowledging during this month that Ancelotti is the main target. The president has been in contact, in talks with the Brazilians at Real Madrid, also with other Brazilian players who have been players under the Italian. Kaká and Ronaldo Nazario have been key figures during the process to bring closer Brazil big figures to Ancelotti. As Ednaldo told some months ago, everyone loves Ancelotti, and all the players, the whole squad, want him to be the next coach.
I'm just thinking, as a coach, and I know Pep Guardiola said this in an interview a while ago. Pep Guardiola said, they asked him if he'd ever do a national team job. He's like, I would love to taste it. I'd love to taste the World Cup. I mean, for a coach of his experience, Ancelotti, to work with that array of young talent, Dermot, I mean, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo. I mean, the list goes on, right? Endrick, exactly. Who's coming to Real Madrid, actually? Anyway, I mean,
Real Brazil.
That's the truth, with a little Englishman in the middle. I mean, like, how do you turn down an offer like that?
it is like it's the most glamorous job maybe in world football to be the Brazil coach and to be coach at the World Cup, and maybe to not even have to bother too much with a load of friendlies in Bolivia and Ecuador and all the games along the way does seem kind of ideal for a manager. I would say that looking from the outside, like Mario maybe has a better handle on exactly how things work at the federation, but it doesn't look like it's very well organized at all from here. We just saw last week there was the game against Argentina with the pretty horrible scenes before the game. The team had also lost to Colombia. Most of their best players are at Madrid. You know, the core of the team is going to be for the future, maybe Militao, then Vinicius and Rodrigo, and maybe Endrick. But there's a lot of players who are not maybe at the level who you'd expect for a Brazil national team. You know, some guys playing in the Premier League for Newcastle and Aston Villa, Gabriel Jesus, who are, you know, decent players, but they're not quite world superstars yet. They're not guys, you know, this isn't like Romario and Ronaldo and Ronaldinho and trying to fit them all into the team, Kaká, that we mentioned as well. So it's a super glamorous opportunity, you know, to be Brazil coach in the World Cup, but it comes with its own pressures and possibilities for failure, especially if behind the scenes things aren't being run maybe as well, or the preparation mightn't be as good as you would hope going into a World Cup. And Brazil haven't done, you know, they haven't done so well in World Cups recently. They keep getting knocked out to the first European team who they meet. So there'll be huge pressure on it. There'll be a lot of Brazilians in America, you'd imagine, as well at it. So it's, you know, Ancelotti, I don't think Ancelotti's going to be worried about it. He sees it as a challenge, and he's a confident guy. He'd be able to take it on. But it's not quite the kind of honeymoon or the easy job that it might seem to be. Oh, we'll go and take over Brazil and win the World Cup, and that would be great. There's dangers there as well.
Yeah. Mario, I wonder if you could take us inside the Brazilian Federation a little bit, because I was in Brazil a while ago, and especially when Brazil hosted the last World Cup, Brazilian fans were not enjoying this team, and they've had to build back a lot of, you know, respect with the Brazilian fans. Brazil haven't necessarily played the greatest football, and in terms of talent, you know, we're only starting to see a new young crop come through, but they still have to please the Brazilian fans, you know, and there's a lot of disrepute in the background about who's doing what, who's in charge. Can you just take us inside the Brazilian Federation?
Yeah, in fact, I think there is a factor there, because during the under Tite, there were a lot of criticisms because supporters and media claimed that Tite was too defensive for Brazil and for Brazilian style. So when back in July, Rodriguez spoke, announced Fernando Diniz as the new coach for 1 year. He specified that Diniz will be coach for just 1 year. He added something like he's quite similar to the style of play, Ancelotti's style of play. So I think they are trying to recover the style and the beautiful game which Brazilians love a lot.
But what are these legal guarantees then afforded to Carlo Ancelotti? I mean, that sounds quite suspect.
Yeah. This is the most sensitive topic in this soap opera. It has been reported in Brazil that the CBF have legal guarantees about Ancelotti becoming their next manager. We have been able to confirm that this is the case with sources familiar with the situation. This is what it has been said at the CBF and in private. So I can't assure how strong would be that document or that signature if there is a pre-contract or something similar. But we have been told that this is the case, that Brazil have legal guarantees. But also, and this is interesting, other sources with knowledge of the CBF and Real Madrid and also Carlo Ancelotti told us that how legal could be a document, even if it's signed, when Carlo Ancelotti is not allowed to sign anything before the beginning of the next year. The same sources also told us that there is a clause in the contract between Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti, for which it has been made it clear the intention of both Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti regarding an extension. It has been decided, and it should be made it clear at the beginning of January.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about Florentino Perez amidst all of this. Dermot, he's not a guy that likes to have the wool pulled over his eyes, is he? I mean, he will be very aware of what's going on, and clearly conversations are happening, but he's very clear about what he wants from this Real Madrid side and his club.
Yeah, he will be very clear that he will make decisions based on what's best for Real Madrid, not what suits Carlo Ancelotti, not what might suit Brazil or anybody else, really. It's all about Real Madrid. So if he thinks the best thing for Real Madrid is to get Carlo Ancelotti to renew his contract so that the Brazil stuff goes away, so that Brazil decide, okay, look, we can't keep waiting, we're going to hire another coach, then that will be good for Madrid. It will remove the Brazil problem. It won't stop him firing Carlo Ancelotti in April if he decides to do it. But that will be the kind of the way that Florentino, well, who am I to say how Florentino Perez would see things? But like looking at his track record, it would be that he will go what's best for Madrid, what's best for the club. I wouldn't say he's super happy to have all these rumors around about Brazil, or all the talk about his own manager, of the idea that anybody can come and take the Madrid coach. Like Madrid go and they take the Spain coach, like with Lopetegui. It doesn't happen the other way around, even if it's Brazil. From Florentino's point of view, or from the Bernabeu's point of view, this is the biggest, best, most prestigious job in football, full stop, that everybody should want. So yeah, he's sitting. Florentino will do what he needs to do. From Brazil's point of view, like I can understand why they want to get it sorted out, or want to have it out there that there is a document, or that there is something binding Ancelotti, because they're in trouble if Ancelotti does decide to renew. The team results haven't been good. A new coach, they've got to try and bring in somebody else. The World Cup's not that far away yet. Obviously the current guy, Denise, has been getting a lot of criticism from pundits and from fans. Losing to Argentina at home is not good. Historic defeat for Brazil in the circumstances that it was. So you can imagine there being problems for the Brazilian Federation president if they don't get this sorted out soon. But that's not going to worry anybody at Madrid. It's not going to worry Florentino Perez.
Okay, gents, thank you so much for your time. Let's see how the soap opera of Don Carlo Ancelotti unravels over the next few months. Mario and Dermot, I really appreciate your time. Remember to rate and review the podcast if you're enjoying it. And why not give a friend or a loved one a gift of reading some of the great writing from these guys on The Athletic. 1 year subscriptions are at the special discounted price of $19.99 a month. That's both dollars and pounds. Head over to theathletic.com/footballpod. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this video, click subscribe for more content like this. We'll be joined by the likes of David Ornstein, Matt Slater, Adam Crafton, Carl Anker, and plenty more through the season to bring you the inside track to the biggest stories in football. If you'd like to listen to the full episodes for free, search The Athletic Football Podcast wherever you get your podcasts from.